Alright, today I'm working with the file chapter 3 mid-to zoo. I'm going to do a little graphing here. I'm going to create a clustered column chart. Can open this file up and take a look at it. And here I've got a petting zoo annual visits, and I want to do a quick graph. I've got for the 4 year 2008 to 2011. I'm going to do some quick totals first. Again, if I highlight the values I want to sum up, last column blank, last row blank. One auto sum sums them all up. While I make them the right format. Notice I got the little green exclamation here because it sees the 2008 is a value too. Why aren't you adding that up? So that's why it gives this as warning here. So I'm just going to have it ignore the error. Do it with all of these ones at once. Hit the drop down arrow. Ignore error because it's not an error. I don't want to add up those numbers because those are years. So I want to do a quick cluster column graph comparing basically these different parts to our petting zoo over those years. So they're all touching data. Basically, these 4 things I want to have in the legend. These years I want to have in on the x-axis. So I'm going to do a quick cluster column graph. So this is the hardest part. I have to select starting in this blank cell A2, go over and down. The first row will be on our x-axis. The first column here will be in our legend. I don't want to graph the totals here because I want to graph these individual numbers comparing each one of these parts of our petting zoo. And then just going to insert a column, and then this first one, if I hold it there, is the cluster column one. I'll take a look and see what it looks like. And boom, there are our 2008, 9, 2011 on the x-axis. These labels in our legend. And you always want to have a title of your graph. So once you create a graph, put you in this design tab for the charts. And it's going to hit this first layout here. And then my chart title, I can put in visits. Fun. And then with this graph, basically I've got too much data here side by side. It's really hard to compare. I want to basically see year to year to year comparing. So instead of having a cluster column, I want to make a quick change with this one to make it a stacked column because I want to compare what's better, 2008, 2009, 2010. It's really hard to tell with this clustered column when these things are side by side. So I can do a quick change chart type here. And then this one here is the stacked column. And there I can see I'm going up, up, and I'm holding about steady 2010, 2011. So quick kind of a clustered column. I just want to throw this graph onto its own sheet and do another graph. So because right now I just have sheet 1, so I'm just going to right click here and then move this chart to a new sheet, and I'm going to call this one my stacked column. It's just naming the sheet here for it. Hit OK, and there's my chart as a new sheet. I'm just going to go back now to my sheet 1 and create another chart here. I want to do a classic one, the pie chart, which one of these are our best visited parts of our petting zoo. I'm going to highlight these 4 labels here, and then the 4 totals over here, so 4 and 4, and then this time I'm just going to insert a quick pie graph, this 2-dimensional pie, and then most of the times with charts, these pies, you like to have percent breakdown. I hit that format there, and then I can have the word visits in my chart. So this is how you select touching data, how you graph data that's not touching. You highlight these 4 labels first, and then with the control key these 4 labels, and everything works out well. Next one I'm going to talk about what goes wrong with charts and what not to do with charts.